nowadays I've started wearing my mask at home also. Firstly, it's safe, and secondly, my daughter couldn't recognize me without it. But I think for this video, I can take it off because the current strain I don't think is electronically transmitted. I think that's only coming in the next release. Now, when all of us go back to our school days, I'm sure there is this one line that teachers used to tell us, we'll all remember. There's a lot of diversity in the people of India. But today, when I look at it, I think that's one of the biggest lies that was told to us. Essentially, there are only two categories of Indians in the world. Category 1 are the Indians who are living in the US. Category 2 are the Indians whose children will be living in the US. So that's just how diverse we are. But that's not a bad thing. Huh? This helped solve a big problem of the governments, which was how to identify middle class Indians. So they came up with a committee and asked people for suggestions. So one suggestion was that families that have a color television, they should be identified as middle class. Now people said rubbish idea. Look at the family's favorite actor, and that favorite actor is Akshay Kumar, they become middle class. Then somebody came up with another session saying that those families which are doing online purchases of fruits and vegetables but still leave a comment saying, where is my free dhania, where is my free mirchi, those are middle class. Our government said no, keep it simple. Family with one child living or studying in the US, middle class, end of story. Everybody was happy, all was well. Then someone from UK got up and said, Sada Munda London se padda hai, what about us? Government said yes, we should include UK. People in Canada also said, what about us then? Now government said, you guys are taking things too far. You guys are living in northwest Punjab. आप तो पहले NRI बन जाओ, फिर बाद में बात करेंगे. But let's face it, US is an amazing country. Just look at their infrastructure, people, kind of research they do. Phenomenal. Tell me which country would do research to find out which branch of engineers are the most sought after by girls. When this research was done, they found out that mechanical engineers are the most sought after. Now, our Indian engineers should also learn from them and see the creative ways by which they are trying to date girls. And we are still stuck with creating fake Facebook profiles and thinking that will work. The contributions that the US have made to the world are phenomenal. Ford, Google, name it, everything has come from there. But I think their biggest contribution is none of these. No freedom of speech, no Google, nothing. But low-cost ways of looking cool. But looking cool can be a very expensive proposition. Huh? Just look at Europeans. 50% of the salary goes in brands. Zara, Canali, name it. But Americans say, you want to look cool, keep it simple, drop your pants, show your jockey elastic, you are cool, sorted. In fact, this got so popular in India, boys were going like this to meet their fiance's parents. And even the parents are happy. They said, ये लड़का देखो, genuine US returned है, इसकी तो jockey भी दिख रही है. Similarly, now if you want to look cool in the corporate setup, now imagine you are a professional, you've been drunk all night with your friends, you wake up in the morning, you realize, अरे यार एक presentation है आज तो क्या करूँगा, and you are stressed, you want to make a good impression. Simple. Just walk into the presentation room with a cup of Starbucks in your hand and sit down. Everybody will give you the look that ये बंदा company बदल देगा. इसकी promotion करो, he will change the company. So I think low-cost ways of looking cool is the single biggest contribution of the Americans to the world. Now you might think that I am against going to the US. In fact, I was under the impression it is my birthright to go to the US. Reason being, I am born on the 4th of July, US Independence Day. So for the longest time, I thought that there is a department in US immigration whose job is only to identify those people born on 4th of July, and when they turn 18, give them a call and say, sir, aapka citizenship tayar hai, aa jao. And I joined the IT industry when the flights to US were so full of IT engineers that even DTC buses would look empty in comparison to them. People weren't getting seats on the flights. So they were being strapped on the wings and being sent to the US. Go. When they used to land up there, they used to be asked only one question. which language do you speak? They just say Java. Or they say, wonderful, you are the right people, we are looking for you, Ajao. When the whole world was going to the US, I landed up in Africa. In fact, I've been to Africa more times than I've been to Mumbai. I won't know the streets in Mumbai, Pedder Road, Carter Road, where are they? I wouldn't know. But you ask me a street in Nigeria, that I would know. At one time, I was making so many trips to Africa, my father got worried. He asked me, are you an IT engineer or are you smuggling elephant tusks? Then one day I had to tell him that, Papa, this is all because of you. He said, I mean, come on, why would I be responsible for that? I said, see, Papa, our address, home address is on Africa Avenue Road. Of all roads, if you have a address on Africa Avenue Road, you obviously will land up in Uganda, in Zimbabwe. Where else will you go? But I am actually not complaining because I got from Africa what every Indian wants, but will not get it even in the US. In fact, even a person like Sundar Pichai will not get it that in the US. What I got in Africa. And that is the feeling of being white. But I must thank my stars that I have a sister-in-law in US and I got to visit her. Because I was so scared that what will happen to me if I sit next to a passenger who asks me this question that you're in IT industry, aap US gaye? But now I'm so happy I can at least answer that question. Now there's another thing that's amazing about US is the brand value it carries. You attach anything to US and the brand value shoots up, goes through the roof. Dabbawallahs. These guys have been transporting their thepalas, their misal paos and vada paos for the past 100 years. But nobody cared about them. Nobody gave a damn. He said, who are these people who wear these white topis and crowd the local trains? Nobody cared about them. One fine day, Harvard did a case study on them. The very next day, whole of India got to know about them. The Dabbawallahs were obviously also very happy, though they didn't know the difference between Harvard or Harvard, but they still felt at least somebody is recognizing them. But there was one set of Dabbawallahs, the MBA Dabbawallahs, who were not happy. They said, यार पहले तो ये US के business के case studies करो, अब ये Indian business के भी case study पढ़ो. So these MBA Dabbawallahs, they're basically people who make these fancy dabbas on PowerPoints. They make these different colored dabbas and all of them on the PowerPoints. So, but these Dabbawallahs, they were not happy. They said, यार एक case study और पढ़नी पड़ेगी. Now there's one concept, there is no free lunch. And this concept I totally love. I mean, some people might argue and say, कि यार, come on, Americans, आप तो अपना lunch free कर सकते हो. I mean, what is there in a lunch? वो fries and a burger. You also say, no, there's no free lunch. Now let me explain how it works. Now you watch this video, you had a few laughs, your BP has come down. Now you want to pay something, you want to give something. So what do? You go to Google, you search on Amazon for this book, Rewind and Play. And once you find this book of mine, you order it. So there is no free lunch. Now, by the way, this book was part of a research done in US, and they did research on some 15,000 books, and they found that this book has the highest laughs per page. And the reason for that was, all thanks to my crazy days from my engineering, which thankfully with God's grace I passed somehow. So all the crazy incidents of sleepwalkers chasing me, and I'm trying to do stuff like create a dating website and all kinds of things. I think all thanks to that, this book. I hope you guys get a copy of this, and please leave good comments. Remember, we authors are very nasty people. Huh? Sometimes you just take names of people and then create nasty characters out of them. So just be careful. And don't forget to like or subscribe this video. I mean, don't be scared that US jana hamare ko visa nahi milega and all that. Don't worry, government in the US has changed. Now the buses to the US will start all over again. So be rest assured. Yeah, one last thing. Guess where this book starts? US, obviously.